for March the 2nd to order. Appears like health may be running a little bit late, so we will no doubt have some members join us shortly. We have two hearings today. Both of them are going to be very, very familiar to you, as they are the House versions of the Senate bills that we've already passed. So we will open the hearing on House Bill 2490. Eileen, can you give us a refresher on it?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm going to take an abbreviated version of this brief because the bill is so familiar to you. But House Bill 2490 is the House version of our Senate Bill 329. House Bill 2490 was passed by the House Committee of the Whole on February 9th and referred to this committee on February 10th. House Bill 2490 is the bill that proposes modifications to the ABLE Savings Program. Section 1 of the bill is the purpose statement of the bill, and it has been amended to add that one of the intents of the savings program is to gain federal and newly state income tax benefits that are allowed by federal or state law. Sections 2 and 3 change certain definitions to coincide with new federal requirements relating to the ABLE program and will put us into compliance with that. Section 3 adds state to the description of tax benefits received by the participants, as I referenced earlier. And Section 4 of the bill actually amends definitions in Section 4, which is amending Statute 75-655, to coincide with changes in the definitions that we did in Section 2. And with that, Mr. Chair, I can stand for questions.
Thank you, Eileen. Committee, are there questions? Eileen, as I understand it, the only difference between the House bill and the Senate version is that we gave it a little bit more importance by putting it with the register, and the House left it with a statute book. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you much. We will now turn to our proponent testimony. I understand we may have Treasurer Rogers
appearing on WebEx. Yes.
Appearing on WebEx.
Yes, I do. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Good
morning.
Well, thank you, Chairman. Good morning. As mentioned, this is a repeat of 329, and we appreciate the opportunity to be in front of you again. And as Eileen mentioned, it updates the Kansas statute to give more flexibility and to follow the IRS regulations. So we put some information in there. I do have some members of my staff in the audience that can answer questions. Our attorney, John Hedges, if there are any specific questions, but I won't read you the testimony, but do appreciate and hope that we can get this bill passed out as well.
Okay. Thank you, Treasurer. Are there questions for the Treasurer? I see none. Thank you, Lynn. John, did you wish to testify, or?
I'll make one brief point, if I may. And we appreciate your support of the Senate version of this bill and your flexibility with the effective date. Either date is going to work for our office, either publication in the register or in the statute book. We've been in discussions with the contracted manager, and just due to IT things, it's going to take a few months to implement this anyway. So we had hoped to fast track it, but either date is fine. So however is procedurally more straightforward, we're happy to use either version of this bill.
Thank you much. We'll certainly give the Senate and the House something to talk about. Next proponent is Megan Shrevey with the Interhab. Morning, Megan.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. I just wanted to echo what everyone says. My name is Megan. I'm with Interhab. I'm the Director of Communications and Education. I'm thankful to come back again this month to speak to you on the ABLE Account Act. We want to continue to see the bill move along as well. Our members' biggest concern is just to be able to see as many people take advantage of opening an ABLE Act as possible and be able to move forward. And again, follow along with the federal law. So if you have questions, I'm happy to stand for those, but just hope to see it move forward.
Thank you, Megan. Committee, are there questions? I see none. Thank you. Let me call your attention to proponent written only testimony from Sean Gatewood with CanCare Advocates Network, Barb Helm with RCare, and Christy Morse with Southeast Kansas MOS AIC. Does anyone else wish to be a proponent on the bill? Are there any neutrals on the bill? Any opponents to the bill? Seeing none, we will close the hearing on House Bill 2490. We will now turn our attention to House Bill 2464, which also may be familiar to some of you.
It may be familiar, Mr. Chair, but this is the most exciting bill that we do every year, so we should listen to it twice, right? House Bill 2564 is the House version of our Senate bill. I want to say it's not 329. My brief is incorrect, and I apologize. But the bill was passed by the House Committee of the Whole unanimously on February 15th and referred to this committee on the 16th. It's our annual date change bill. The NAIC promulgates a new set of instructions every year relating to the risk-based capital instructions that are in effect. We update it every year from the former year to the immediately preceding year, so you can see the amendment changes the year from 2020 to 2021, and thus we avoid an unconstitutional delegation of authority.
Thank you.
And I can stand for questions.
Are there questions? Is there any difference between 2564 and our Senate bill?
The degree of enthusiasm with which I briefed it.
Other than that, everything is identical?
Everything else is identical, Mr. Chair.
We need to fix that next week. So.
I do not stutter. I may stumble for words, but I don't stutter. Stutter. It's semantics, schematics. Semantics.
We will now turn our attention to Proponent Testimony, Lead Modestat with the Kansas Insurance Department. Lee, can you try to keep your testimony down to about 20 minutes?
I'll do my best, Mr. Chair. I was debating if we would get through this before Senator Hildebrand got here to ask Eileen about his Oxford comma again, but I'm here in case there are questions.
Did I say 20 minutes or 20 seconds? I must have stuttered myself. Committee, are there any questions of Lee? I see none. Thank you. Committee, we will close the hearing on House Bill 2564. That completes our work. We do have a hearing tomorrow, and then next week, I promise you will see a couple of new subjects on bills that came over from the House that are maybe slightly different than what we've seen, so stay tuned.